most folks are going to school or coming to LCC and taking courses or getting additional training to develop those hard skills in their respective area. Soft skills, however, what I'm hearing pretty consistently from employers across the board are becoming more valued. And the soft skills are things such as the ability to show up and report to work on time, to see a project through to completion without constant supervision. Could be the ability to manage your time well and have good organization skills, or another good, very highly valued soft skill is the ability to get along with other people in a team environment, to have good communication skills. So soft skills and hard skills and being able to distinguish between the two is going to be a very important ability for you to utilize, not only into the development or revision of your resume, but also when it comes time for you to interview, because now hopefully you'll be able to look at a job description or to look at an occupational profile like we just were discussing on ONET, to be able to help you pick out those hard and soft skills that cater to your strengths. Some people have higher confidence in some abilities than others. So for example, if I'm not very organized in my personal life, probably wouldn't want to use that on your resume, because you're not going to have enough, you probably won't have any accomplishments really to support the fact that you're organized. So instead, again, you want to be picking those skills, those hard and soft skills from the ONET profile that really cater to the things that you have done or are doing or are confident in. Because essentially the definition of a skill is really nothing more than one's confidence in their ability to do something. So a low confidence equates to low skill, and vice versa. High confidence equates to high skill. The skills that you use here, that you choose for your resume, are gonna be organized similar to what James Madison has. He has 5 functional headings on his resume. I think at a minimum for a good functional resume, you should have at least 3 functional headings. But the key is, again, to pick a combination of some hard and some soft. So when we look at James Madison's resume, the computer skills section or heading that he has under the skills and experience section is very much a hard skill. Conversely, the communication heading that he's using under skills and experience is very much a soft skill. So again, the key is using combination there. What I've also included in the presentation is a document that talks about accomplishment statements. And what's really key is to understand that what we're primarily selling with a functional resume, again, are these relevant hard and soft skills. And if you're saying that you have the necessary skills, you need to prove through things that you've actually done how you've used these particular hard and soft skills, how you've applied them throughout your life experience. Now, it doesn't have to be just limited to the context of the workplace. We utilize and learn soft skills throughout our lifetime. The soft skills in particular are really developed in an early age. They're really influenced by our personality. They're influenced by how we're raised, our culture. So they tend to be a little bit more difficult to modify over time or to learn compared to the hard skills. But the key is, again, if you're saying that you communicate effectively and that you can get along with other people and that you show up and report to work on time, you need to be prepared to back those up, to prove that. Because what a lot of employers are seeing on resumes today are very, what I call generalized, open-ended types of statements that don't have any substance or proof behind them. For example, the bad kinds of statements would be, I'm an excellent communicator, I'm a team player, I'm organized, I'm this, I'm that. Well, employers are rolling their eyes at those kinds of statements because they're a dime a dozen. Just because a person says that they have good communication skills doesn't necessarily mean that they can communicate effectively. Instead, the employer is looking for proof. How did you communicate? In what kind of context? And what was the outcome? So it's important to think about when you're putting together these bulleted accomplishment statements that will support the functional headings to be able to think about and target these concepts, or at least speak in relation to one of them in each statement. And so again, on the handout or the document that refers to accomplishment statements, ask yourself, are they addressing things about my work such as the level of responsibility, the variety of things I do, the complexity of my work, whether the results of my work specifically increased or decreased something, the frequency in which I do things, the quality of my work, and the quantity of people I serve. Numbers, figures, dollar amounts is a much more measurable, more easy to assess for the reviewer what you're capable of doing. So think about just incorporating those kinds of concepts into your accomplishment statements. And as you'll see in a moment, we're going to talk about action verbs and how that can be, just by choosing the right action verb to start your accomplishments, can really help you put the accomplishments into words and help you to identify specific things that you've done, not just in the workplace, but again, through life. These would be personal interests, hobbies, volunteering, community involvement. For some folks, it might be parenting because they've been a stay-at-home parent for the last 10 years and they weren't working during that time, and now they're re-entering the workforce. So with the functional resume, everything is game. It doesn't have to be limited just to the context of the job. And you'll notice under the screen where we're talking about the skills and experiences and the word processing, the scheduling coordination, the customer service headings, that each of the bulleted statements underneath these three functional headings start with an action verb. Words such as produced, developed, scheduled, coordinated. And then if we look at the word processing, the first statement under word processing here on the PowerPoint slide talks about produced research reports of up to 25 pages. So that particular statement captures the quantity, the number 25, kind of going back to what we were just talking about in terms of speaking to one of those concepts, quantity being one of them. Developed templates that reduce volunteer work time. Again, that's the second bulleted statement under word processing. And what that does is captures the results of the applicant's work and the fact that they reduced something as a part of that result.